Welcome back to the Boys and Ball podcast. If you like the podcast, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's go.
Do you need to see me smile when you do the intro? Is that why
I
you
do
need to do
it.
that?
Yeah, it makes it more interesting, Bruce. Now the people aren't going to see that, but like makes it more interesting, a little spicy. But we're at an important time this week.
Yes,
Super
we are.
Bowl. The Super Bowl is 2 days away. Now we have a big episode for you guys. So we've been making our picks at the end of every game, and we haven't said this yet, but we have a punishment video planned for the person who has the worst pick score. So we've tallied up each win as 1 point. Now, Mr. Brucey is in last place. But the twist we've added is at the end of this podcast, we are going to bet on 6 different categories with our points that we've accumulated throughout the season. And Bruce may be able to escape punishment. So,
This was not my idea.
Let's get right into this. Super Bowl week, Chiefs, Eagles.
Wow.
I want to talk about the media days real quick. Nick Sirianni was asked a wild question by a reporter.
This is
where reporters don't think about half the stuff they say. The reporter asked Nick Sirianni which person on the Eagles in the Eagles organization would you not let date your daughter? Nick Sirianni's response was, "My daughter is 5."
Next question.
Oh,
yeah, I get these reporters
what a terrible media question.
Doing a bunch of shit, but how can you not fact check your stuff that much? Geez.
What a terrible media question.
That's an awful question.
What a terrible thing to ask.
Who just sent that to the reporters? All right, here's a question to ask. I wonder if it was a gag. If it was a gag, someone's like, "Hey, I've seen a bunch of these funny videos. You should ask the Eagles head coach this. See his reaction." Jeez,
awful. But into some gameplay here. How do you boys think this Super Bowl is going to turn out?
I think I originally going into this playoffs, I had the Eagles kind of taking over, winning. But I think in light of recent events and apparently Cincinnati's mayor asking for the paternity test, I think the Chiefs are fired up from that Bengals game. That was probably the better game, and I think the Chiefs come out and dominate. Which is straight up. I think Patrick Mahomes is taking home that second ring, and I get, not a single quarterback who's won MVP, has won the Super Bowl since Kirk Cousins in 1999, but I think this is the year it happens again.
Since Kirk Cousins?
Not Kirk Cousins. Fuck, Kurt Warner. Jesus.
I was like, I'm confused here now. Okay.
No, right? I started laughing at Dan because I was like, dude, that's not correct.
Right first name, same mediocre play, basically the same quarterback. So, who really cares?
All right. See,
you heard it here first. Dan thinks Kurt Warner is Kirk Cousins.
They're same quarterback, both mediocre. All right, next.
Okay. I'm in a tough boat here. So I saw Brandon Ayuk talk about they were upset that their quarterbacks went down in that NFC Championship game because they felt like this Eagles defense was overhyped and they were going to be able to exploit that defense in a lot of ways that once they lost their quarterback they were not able to do. And he said that he thinks the Chiefs are going to expose them and beat the Eagles. So I struggle with seeing, did they actually see something? Or is he trying to just kind of complain that they lost because of the way they lost? That, they might have lost either way, but, if our quarterback hadn't gotten hurt, we would have blown them out. We were going to expose that defense.
You got to wonder if that actually would have been true because, Brock Purdy was on a really, really, really good run. I'll give it to the kid. He was playing real good football for a very long stretch of time. But, you can't help but wonder that if Brock Purdy stayed healthy through the entire game, if they did have the film that they needed to try to exploit that defense.
Yeah, you never know. And that team is loaded. But the reason I struggle with this is because if Brock Purdy was going to be able to expose the Eagles defense, if that is true, Patrick Mahomes
He's gonna ball out.
is going to decimate a defense.
Allegedly.
I think,
Allegedly.
I think another big thing is you have to put Mr. Shanahan on the same level as Andy Reid. They're both just absolute geniuses when it comes to calling plays, breaking down defensive. They're probably two of the best to ever come up with, some offensive game plans. So, I think if Kyle Shanahan could come out with a great game plan with a quarterback like Brock Purdy, who's very young and untested, Andy Reid, who's now been to the Super Bowl 3 times in the past 4 years, something like that, 4 or 5 years. He's gonna know what to do. It's a big game. This Eagles team is still super young, not a lot of experience in the Super Bowl, but that Chiefs team is.
I don't know. They have that Eagles team has a lot of experience though, because they still have a lot of guys that were from that Super Bowl team that's on there.
Do they?
Kelsey, Johnson, Fletcher
Yeah.
Cox.
Yeah, the line's got that experience, but you've got a young quarterback who hasn't been under those bright lights before.
Yeah,
True.
Young quarterback, a lot of receivers who've never seen limelight like that, a lot of unproven running backs in games like this,
The only thing you can say that's really solid about the Eagles for this game is their offensive line under the bright lights, because they've been to the Super Bowl, they know what it's about, and having that anchor of an offensive line will make the game a little bit easier, but it's still going to come with its challenges for everybody else.
Yeah.
And I also like the Eagles defensive line, Hassan Reddick, Ndamukong Suh, like you said, Fletcher Cox. There's a lot of good guys on that D line who, get to the quarterback. But
Ndamukong Suh has so much Super Bowl experience.
Yeah, but the Patrick Mahomes isn't going to sit in the pocket and take hits like Brock Purdy and other.
And he is not hurt. He was not listed on the injury designation all week. The Chiefs have no one listed as an injury designation going into the Super Bowl, where the Eagles Friday injury report had a couple full participants, and just Britton Covey was a questionable, but I don't think he's a starter. He might be a special teams guy.
Now, I have a question.
At wide receiver.
Do you have to report people on the injury report if they're hurt?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they miss practices or anything, or if they might be questionable for the game, the Chiefs have no one listed as questionable for the game.
Okay, I just didn't know if you had to list them, or if you could just hide your injuries. That way the Chiefs or Eagles didn't know who was hurt and stuff like that.
No, yeah, I'm fairly certain you have to report your injuries.
You have to say, okay,
yeah. So I think this is going to be a relatively healthy game for both teams on each side. The only one that was questionable all week for the Chiefs, Pacheco, Mahomes, those guys were listed as full participants all week. But L'Jarius Sneed missed a day, was a light practice yesterday, but full participant today.
Well, I mean, I know he got injured in the Chiefs-Bengals game, so I wonder if they're just being careful and trying not to overwork him. Going into that game, so
but that said, that he was the only one that even missed practice, and he's listed as not questionable. He's playing.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna have a healthy team. It's not gonna be like the Chiefs when they went up against the Buccaneers, where that entire line was hurt and Patrick Mahomes just ran around for his life the whole time. This is too, as healthy as you're gonna be at the end of the NFL season, smacking heads, and I don't know. For me, I think better quarterback wins. I think Patrick Mahomes is about to take over the NFL for the next decade. And I think that start to ascension into absolute greatness starts this weekend.
Yeah.
Picking up number 2.
This is going to be a career-defining Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes gets this one.
Yeah. So, Bruce, who do you have? Are you going with your NFC East rival? Are you rooting for the NFC East? Or are you flipping sides? Are you turncoating on your division?
So here's the thing, right? I'm kind of I'm a different kind of NFC East New York Football Giants fan, right? So like everyone always picks on our whole division every other year. You're the NFC least, y'all suck. You guys have 3 teams with losing records. Da, 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 this now. We've heard it all over the past few years, right? But like if one of the members of the NFC East makes it all the way to the Super Bowl, even if it's not my Giants, bring the trophy back to the NFC East. Let them know that we got the hardware over here. Okay. We got teams that have got pedigree, who have been proven competitors in the past, and will continue to build and do it in the future. So I do respect the Eagles. I would ride for the Eagles, but like I'm in your same boat where I say the better quarterback is going to get this game done.
So you're taking the Chiefs.
I'm going to ride with Kansas City, even though I normally, if it wasn't Kansas City, if it was literally anybody else, but but it's Kansas City, so I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. It's like betting against Tom Brady. It's almost a sure thing.
All right. So, boys, I think it's that time. Let's get in to the betting.
Oh no!
All right, guys.
JT, let the viewers know what bets we got going on before we get into them. You know, give Bruce a couple extra seconds to prepare. Give me a couple extra seconds to prepare.
You can think about 15 minutes. Like we might have a little section right here.
You guys can see here. I've written absolutely nothing down. I am not prepared. So
I've got a little start going here. Like,
but the bets we're betting on. So the point total is going across. Mr. Bruce is in last place. He has 135 correct picked games this year. Dan has 148, and I'm sitting at number 1 at 150. So it's not too far of a stretch. Mr. Bruce is 15 out of first place, but last place is going to get punished. Now, each person, the rules of the game here, each person has to bet on all of the 6 categories, and each bet that they hit correctly will double the points that they put into it. So, the 6 categories are the money line, the outright winner, the coin toss, penalties, number of penalties thrown. The refs officiating the Super Bowl this year averaged 12 penalties thrown a game. So we have our own over-under set at 12.5. The other one is penalty yards, and we're going an over-under on 100 combined penalty yards. The first touchdown scorer, who will that be? So the person will have to make their pick on which player will score that touchdown, and then how many points to put into that, and then the Super Bowl MVP. So, boys, let's jump into it. Are you boys ready?
Absolutely not. Let's fucking do it.
Okay, let's go. I'm winging this whole thing. In first place, you got to come in wildly overconfident. Let's go lose this challenge.
Oh my god.
Started from the bottom. Now I'm on the top. Let's see if I choke. All right. First one up. Money line. We'll snake this. So, Mr. Bruce, who do you have as the game winner, and how many points are you putting down?
I'm going to be putting 20 points on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. Dan.
I got 20 on the Kansas City Chiefs.
That seems like a safe bet.
All right. I'm going to go 25 on the Kansas City Chiefs. And then for the coin toss, I am going to put 30 on heads.
Okay.
Dan, what is your coin toss?
I got 50 on tails.
Okay.
Oh, ooh, that's a spicy one, man. I put 14 on tails.
Okay. All right. Bruce, penalties thrown, over under 12.5. You taking the over or the under?
I'm taking the under. I haven't decided my point value I'm going to put into it yet. Just give me 1 second to go back.
We'll come back. Dan, over under.
Okay, look, I did a little bit of research. Average penalties in a Super Bowl is 11.5. and the average thrown by this officiating crew is 12. So I'm taking the over because I think if the average is 11.5, there's going to be more thrown in this game. So that's research, baby. And I'm taking 7 points on it because that's all I have left.
That's Google down right there.
That's all you have
Do the
left?
research.
Oh! I already.
You put 50 on the coin toss.
I have all my points already broken down.
Oh, okay.
I have 147 points
He's
betted,
putting
boss.
7 on the over. I'm also going to go over, and I'm going to put 15 on the over. Bruce, coming back to you. Final.
All right, so I made some phone calls, and we're gonna go under, and we're gonna take 5 points on the under.
Okay.
It's nice and safe. Nice safe bet.
All right. Penalty yards. Over under 100. I'm gonna go with
Combined, right?
Combined.
Yes.
Combined. Okay.
I'm gonna go with the over.
That might change my answer then.
And I'm putting 25 on the over.
Okay. So I did some more research before the pod. Average penalty yards in a game is 73.5. So therefore, and that's the line for the Super Bowl this game, 73.5 points. So therefore, I am taking the under and I'm betting 20 points. You gotta get official with this. Doing research, making the correct bets. That's how you win, baby.
You said 25 on the under?
No, 20.
20. Okay.
20.
Alrighty, I'm gonna be taking a chapter out of Google Dan's book. I will also be taking the under on this for penalty yards. I didn't do the research. I'm just freestyling on this. We're gonna go for the under, and we're gonna go 15 points on the under.
Okay, Bruce, first touchdown. Who scores the first touchdown, and how many are you putting on it?
All right, so my pick to score the first touchdown, I think it was a really safe pick. I'm gonna go with Travis Kelce.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, that Travis Kelce to Patrick Mahomes connection needs to be established like from the jump.
Okay. How many are you putting on that?
I'm going to put 10 points on Travis Kelce scoring the first touchdown.
All right. Dan, who scores the first touchdown? What are you putting on it?
Hi, boss. So for the first touchdown, I do have the boy Travis Kelce, and I have 30 points put down on that.
Now, if for the first touchdown I was going to go with a quarterback, does that have to be a rushing touchdown?
It has to be a rushing touchdown.
Okay, that changes it.
Yeah,
let me
passing
think about
touchdown.
this.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, if we pick a quarterback and he throws a touchdown pass, like he technically gets the stat for a touchdown. So
No, but in betting wise, if you call first touchdown on a quarterback, they're referring to a rushing touchdown.
Oh.
Which is why me and Bruce obviously both picked Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
It's such a real. See, your only other odds is if you think that the Eagles get the first possession, and on that case, I'd say your best bet would be Miles Sanders or Jalen Hurts on a rushing touchdown, because when the boys get in that end zone, they just want to run the ball. So who you got, JT?
That's tough. My gut. I'm just gonna go with my gut here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Miles Sanders.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a very solid bet, though, JT. Like I said, that's what they do. They run the football.
And I'm not super confident on that, so I'm putting a whopping 5 down on that.
Okay.
So we move to the Super Bowl MVP.
Yes.
I think I'm going to go with the one, the only Patrick Mahomes. I think it's the only pick you can make.
Yeah.
But while you guys make your pick, I have to total up how many points I have spent.
Okay.
I do as well.
Figure out what I can bet.
Before I commit to a number on this, I do need to do some calculations.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying, because I already got my points calculated. I'm taking Patty Mahomes as Super Bowl MVP, and I'm putting my last 20 points down on it.
You're putting your last 20?
Yeah. If you calculate, that's 147 points right there, boss. I went all in.
I think I might be shifting some points around here. Get a little egregious. Okay, I'm gonna throw. Bruce, do you at least have your player on who you think is gonna win Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes,
Okay,
100%.
okay. So
He's
we're all
Patrick
going
Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Yeah. So I've spent 64 points up to right now. Do I want to ride real hard on Patrick Mahomes?
I'm gonna say I'd rather die. JC came in this before saying we should bet all our points, and then everyone kind of backed out. But you know what I did? I stayed true. I bet every single point.
I'm in.
I bet all
49
my
points.
points.
49 points, Patrick Mahomes.
Jeez,
Balls to the walls, baby. Balls to the walls.
We're in deep. Last 49. You got to keep 1 point. Last 49.
so I've spent 64 points right now. Am I really gonna put like?
He puts 100 on Patrick, or puts 70 down on Patrick Mahomes.
How about I put? I'll put 50 points on Patrick Mahomes.
All right. So if we all get every single one wrong, and Bruce somehow manages to clutch it out, he would come
Dan.
first one.
There's no way me and you can both get them all wrong.
Which one do
we
have
picked
different?
a different coin toss.
This is true.
So one of us, if we get that many wrong and Bruce surpasses us, one of us is going down off coin toss alone.
Because I think we both picked.
I won't even lie to you guys. I'm super nervous.
Oh, and we also picked different for penalty yards. You picked over on the penalty yards.
Yeah.
And I picked under. So that's the only two differences.
I'm betting. My head thought was Patty Mahomes launch codes. The deep ball.
Yeah.
PI.
I think
riding on a 40-yard PI.
Yeah, I think that's the only way that it like realistically gets over because
I'm rolling on a 40-yard PI and a roughing the passer. Need all of those.
Need all of it.
I'm rooting for a 37 penalty game.
Oh my!
Penalty
Lord.
me up.
You trying to get bricked up, Daddy?
I need a roughing the kicker. I need a roughing the punter.
He gets a roughing the kicker on.
I need a targeting. Give me everything. Unnecessary roughness.
Give me an RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah. Someone get ejected from the game for a fight. I need penalties.
My Lord. Oh, boys. It's been a great season.
It's been a good season. The next football pod you're going to see is going to be the draft. As we start leading up towards the draft, we're going to talk a little bit about our teams, what we think is going to happen, and how we think the first round and maybe the second, third rounds are going to go. But this has been the Super Bowl pod with the Boys and Ball. If you like the pod, hit the like button, subscribe.